Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode... I don't know, actually. Something of the Headfirst podcast. How are you all doing? My name is Colby. So today, Andy's not here with us. Honestly, it's because I actually just got home from, a week trip on, a motorhome, and it's Thursday right now, and, tomorrow I'm getting my wisdom teeth out, and it's a lot of stuff. And, we're gonna be hanging out tonight, and I just didn't want to be, have this looming over our heads, we have to do this now. So, I just thought I'd do it by myself, and, get it done. So, how are you all doing? I hope you're all having a great 2 weeks. So, for once, actually, we're on time. New stuff came out today, and I heard it, and I get to talk about it. Instead of, a month later, this usually. Everything always comes out the week after I do the podcast. Or the day of, so I miss it. But we finally have some good stuff to talk about. But first, we're going to jump in with a little bit of old news. This is from last week. Zara Larsson, her new album dropped. She is from Sweden, I believe, and she's kind of been making it big here. She was on the song Never Forget You with MNEK. Manek? I don't know who that is. But, she was on that song, which was a big summer hit. And then she's had a few smaller hits, like Ain't My Fault and, Girls Like with Tiny Tempa. Those might not mean anything to you, but I really liked those songs. They were kind of popular here. But so she released her, album. It's kind of her debut to the US called So Good. And, I was really excited for this. To be honest, I was ready to stan her. And if you're not gay pop garbage like me and don't know what stan means, that's a super fan basically. You go into great length. I was almost at that point with her. And this album didn't quite do it for me. It was okay. It was good. The thing is that there was 47 singles that came out before the album, and those are where it was at. And it's very clear that they knew what they were doing when they picked those singles, because those are the best ones off the album. I believe there were 5 singles. There was, Never Forget You, which everyone heard, Ain't My Fault, So Good, and 2 others. Lush Life, and there's one more that I can't remember. But overall, those were all the singles that came out before the album, and those were the best parts of the album. As for the rest of the album, a lot of it, to be honest, was just a lot of ballads that kind of sounded exactly the same. There were 2 songs that sounded a little bit different. One was called Sundown, which was, it was almost dance hall-ish. It had a really cool kind of, fun dance hall kind of vibe, which was different from the rest. And one called One Mississippi, which is a ballad, but managed to sound different. There wasn't much going on the ballads. Listening to 1 or 2 was fine, but they all just blended together in the worst way. Not to say that they were bad, but there was just nothing exciting to listen for. And those 2, along with the singles, were the only really big different ones. The next single off the album is actually one with Clean Bandit, who did, Rather Be. And while it's good, it's nothing different from what's on the radio today. I imagine it will probably do pretty well because it has her and Clean Bandit, which do pretty well on the radio for themselves, and it's just a radio-ready song. So I do think it's gonna do good, and, but it just didn't really do it for me. It just doesn't sound too different. Overall, this album, I kind of looked at it as a basic kind of pop album. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love basic pop albums. They're my favorite thing in the world. I think they're wonderful. But there was just nothing too different for me on there. I feel like pop has become a little bit more wide in these last few years. A lot more is encompassed in pop, which allows for a lot of different kind of pop-sounding albums, but this one just didn't really do it for me. It was the same basic, got your up-tempo, fast, fun songs, and then your ballads. It was just that. And, I like it. I'm listening to about half the songs pretty much on repeat because I love them. But like I said, it was those singles that already came out. So, overall, the album release itself didn't do anything too great, but I'll be listening to a good portion of it. And I think it'll probably find some good success here. Okay, but moving on. I do want to give a quick shout out to No Fraud's Regretting Your Tears and Changed It by Nicki Minaj. They came out, like I said, the night the podcast aired, the last one, so I did not get to talk about them at all. I'll just keep this brief. Fuck. They were so good. I loved them so much. They made me so happy. Regretting Your Tears, boy. Oh boy. I love them. Anyways. We've got one more music thing to talk about and then something Disney. But so, today, this is what I was talking about. We finally are like on point, like on time with something. Iggy Azalea and Nicki Minaj released a song today. Like, hey, 2014, what's going on? Iggy Azalea released a bit of a comeback single called Mo Bounce, and Nicki Minaj released a song, I guess with also David Guetta and Lil Wayne, you can include them, called Light My Body Up. And, oh boy, I've got lots of things to say. Let's start with Iggy. If you don't know, Iggy did return to music a few months ago with a song called Team. You might not know, seriously, because it didn't do anything. And it's not the song, I mean, the song wasn't terrible, it definitely wasn't great. She didn't really promote it either. I don't even know if there was a video, actually. Was there a video? I don't even know. Man, nothing. She did nothing with that song. The general public did nothing. No one did anything with that song. So she kind of faded back into obscurity again for a while. And then she came back with this song today called Mo Bounce. And oh boy, it made me want to bounce. So I'm not like a huge Iggy fan. I like some of her music, but I'm not, the biggest fan. But Mo Bounce, like I said, I was traveling in a motorhome this week, and like it came out, and I was like sitting with my dogs in the motorhome, and I was like twerking just a little bit. It had me moving. I really like the song. I don't know how it'll do as a single. I think the radio will pick it up, but at the same time, it's almost a bit too much of a club banger for pop radio. The white folks that are listening to the radio, I don't know how they'll feel about it. Me being a white person. It'll definitely go off in the clubs. It'll be a huge club hit, that's for sure. And I think it's gonna sell well. I just don't know how radio's gonna pick it up, which is gonna be a big factor in its success. It'll definitely be a streaming hit, because she's posted some teasers of the video, and there's some twerking. It'll be a streaming hit. I think it'll sell pretty well. Overall, the verses are really good. The chorus is pretty good. I will say, it is 3 minutes, 39 seconds long. Who's counting? They could have brought it down to like 3 minutes, and it would have been great. It's pretty repetitive. Like I said, they could have just taken out about 40 seconds of that song, and it would have been much better. There is a radio edit coming, which is, well, obviously what's going to be sent to radio, so that'll help it out a little bit. I'll probably add the radio edit to my playlist instead of the regular version, because at the 3 minute 19 second point, I don't know why I remember all these numbers so exactly. I was like, is this done yet? Because it's just repetitive, but the verses are really good, the chorus is good, all of the song is good, just a little bit repetitive. But overall, I really liked it, and I think she is gonna find success with it. Team didn't manage to crack the top 40. I think it was like 41 or 2. It was really close. I think this will definitely do top 40. I think it could probably do top 20. Beyond that, I'm not sure. We'll have to see how radio picks it up, but I'm jamming. I'm twerking. So on the other hand, we got Light Up My Body, which is David Guetta featuring Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne. And obviously I like this one more. But that's just because I'm a Nicki Minaj stan who anything she does I'm obsessed with, and I can't find fault in her whatsoever. So that kind of skews my view a little bit. But I really, really liked this song. I was worried when she said she was going to put out a song with David Guetta, because no shade, no offense to David Guetta, but he's really like 2012. Like he's kind of dated. I mean, to be honest, the last song I heard out of him was Hey Mama. I did not hear anything out of him since Hey Mama. He just doesn't really do anything unless he's with, like, he doesn't make any impact unless he's with Nicki lately. But, I wasn't disappointed. It didn't, I was just worried that the song was gonna sound dated. It didn't. It sounded really good. it definitely didn't do anything like extraordinary or different. You know, it had a drop, it had a little rap verse from Nicki, which I will say, it was good, and I think it was added after the song was finished, like, being put together, because literally, it's just like right in the beginning, smacked on there, and it's about Remy Ma. So I think she added it on there, but for good, I think it's good. I think it's definitely a good addition to the song. She has a song where it's like, my name is like N-I-C-I-C, I don't know. You'll hear it when you listen to it, and it's not good. It is a bad line. It's bad. But overall, the rap verse is really good, and then she sings the chorus and 2 verses. I believe it's 2 verses. Yeah. And then there's a drop. Like I said, it's nothing too different. You know, it sounds good, but the drop is basic. It's not super duper basic, but it's not something like, wow, I've never heard this before. And then Lil Wayne's on there. Why? I don't really know, to be honest. He just does the bridge, like, for 10 seconds, and he's very forgettable. Like, his verse it's very forgettable. I really don't know why it's on there. But, I mean, he doesn't take away from the song. And then, you know, she does the chorus, and like, okay, so it is a really good song, but same thing with Mo Bounce. I don't exactly know where it's gonna fit in pop radio. I mean, I think it'll do good just because of the fact that it's David Guetta and Nicki Minaj, and they always do good. But I don't think it's in my opinion, and like I said, I mean, I've predicted all sorts of things that are wrong, but I've been right before too. It's not Hey Mama. It's not a Hey Mama sized hit. Hey Mama was a huge smash, and I don't see this doing as well. Like I said, I could be wrong. I just want Nicki to get a number 1. Good Lord, I just want her to get a number 1. So I remain far too optimistic than I should be, but I really want her to get a number 1. But it just doesn't sound Hey Mama sized hit to me. So with Mo Bounce and this song, I don't know how they're gonna do. I definitely think Mo Bounce will do top 20, and I have absolutely zero doubt in my mind that this song will do, Light Up My Body. I have no doubt it will do top 40, for sure. They're both hitting top 40. I mean, yeah, if they don't, I mean, I just gotta resign from this because I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think they'll both for sure do top 40. Mo Bounce, I think, can hit top 20, and I don't know what Light Up My Body's gonna do. It's not exactly like everything on pop radio today. It fits in well. It's just something we're gonna have to wait and see. We'll have to see the video. He said they're shooting it a few weeks ago. He said we'll be shooting it over the next few weeks. So I don't know if it's done yet, but it's good. They're 2 very good songs, and I look forward to seeing how they do. I'm optimistic for both of them. I think the Mo Bounce video is coming out soon. It might even come out tomorrow. We'll just have to see. But I really like both these 2 songs. They were 2 great additions to my playlist, and I cannot wait for Nicki Minaj's new album. And Digital Distortion, Iggy's new album. I don't know when that's coming out. She scrapped, like, she had an entire album ready, from what I know, and she got rid of it. So, I don't know when hers is coming, but I'll look forward to it too, and I'll be listening when it comes out. But, yeah. So that is it for music for this podcast. Now we move on to something a little bit different. So, Zootopia, I'm sure you have all seen it. It is a Disney film released last year that ended up grossing over $1 billion. Super duper duper popular, and it won the Oscar over Moana, and I'm so mad about it. But anyways, Oscar winning, grossed over $1 billion. A man by the name of Gary Goldman has claimed that he pitched Zootopia twice to Disney, actually under the name, like, he wanted to create a world of movies with Zootopia as, like, the franchise name, and this particular movie called Looney. He says he pitched this to them twice, 2000 and 2009, and he says that he got shot down by them both times, and then they went and copied his movie. He said he had all sorts of themes that were similar, such as, you know, like the hierarchy and the social classes of Zootopia, and then like a bunny who is really confident in herself and wants to do well, but gets kind of discriminated against. He said all these ideas were present in his pitch, and Disney shot him down and took it. It's very interesting. Disney I mean, he is suing them. It's not just that he's claiming this. This is a lawsuit. And he says that Disney systematically rips off people and uses them for their own ideas. Disney very quickly came back and said, none of this is true. This is all false, and we're going to prove that in court. And it's very interesting because there have been claims like this towards Disney before. I'm not a very good podcast host because I didn't look up any examples or if Disney won the cases or not. I'm looking back, I should have done that. But there have been these cases before, and it'll be interesting. He did provide some art of like some characters, and they do look very similar to Zootopia's characters, but at the same time they're animals. So, I mean, they're gonna look similar because animals are things in the real world that exist that they modeled them after. And for all we know, this art was made, after the movie came out. We don't know. We don't know if any of this is true, obviously, and I guess we'll come to see, who's right once the lawsuit finishes. But it's interesting, we don't know. He could be right, but, this is a very big deal because this was a huge movie for Disney. Like I said, grossed over $1 billion and won an Oscar. So, if he does turn out to be right and he wins, this could be really, really a big problem for Disney. It'll be interesting to see how it comes out. Like I said, I can't comment too much on it because there's not much to say other than that. I mean, we haven't seen... He didn't put out a movie. We don't know. We don't know if any of what he's saying is true, but we'll just have to watch it. But, I'm a Disney stan. We've said stan 12 times this podcast. So I'm rooting for Disney, but you never know, man. And then, wow, this has been a very short episode, but you guys know, the solo episodes are always a little bit shorter. I don't really have too much to say this week. I kind of want to I've been doing this whole thing off like an outline where I kind of wrote down what I wanted to talk about and then had some notes. This I'm just going to talk about from the heart. So you guys have probably heard the YouTube drama that's been going on. YouTube has a mode called restricted mode that you can access on the desktop version, on the app. You can access it anywhere. And what it does is that it filters out pretty much any explicit content. YouTube is pretty strict anyways, but it filters out kind of based off like keywords and flagging by the community, stuff like that. And it was interesting because from what I know, this mode has been around for quite a long time. And if you're wondering, by the way, guys, just so you know, this, like every other episode, is being filmed in my car right now. So if you hear any noises, it's because I'm moving around. Because I'm trash and record this in a car. But restricted mode, from what I know, has been around for quite a few years. And people are just kind of now noticing. I don't know how people started to find out. But when they were turning on restricted mode, they were noticing that content and entire channels that have LGBT themes were pretty much getting erased in restricted mode, which is a really, really, really bad thing. It wasn't just a video here and there. For example, Connor Franta, almost his entire channel was censored, and a lot of other YouTubers that have, LGBT themes in their videos. There were some channels where almost all of their videos were just, if you went to the channel in restricted mode, they had like 2 videos left. They were kind of censored from searches. And it was shocking because I can understand if it would be a video here and there relating to LGBT themes. But it was a huge amount of LGBT content. It was kind of shocking. I looked at my channel in restricted mode, and all of my reactions, I do reactions to like news, kind of like this, but in a more me freaking out, oh my god, yes, bitch, slay, kind of way. All of those were gone. All of them were immediately gone. Anything with the word Nicki in it that I had was gone. Anything that had the word gay, I couldn't find anything. A lot of my Pocahontas video, I did a video on the Sega Genesis Pocahontas game, which is terrible. That was deleted. And just to throw this out there, Nicki Minaj's entire Vivo channel, except for an interview in the Freedom video, were gone. But it was really shocking to see. And I don't know if they made YouTube did come out and make a statement saying that we didn't mean for this to happen. We're looking into it. It was one of those, company, we support our LGBT creators. But from what I know, nothing has really been done to solve it. And it is really disheartening because there is a lot of kids who rely on YouTube, to help with their coming out and, coming to terms with their sexuality. And it's just very sad. And, for all we know, some of those kids, their parents or whatever might make them watch YouTube in restricted mode, and they immediately lose access to a huge amount of content that could really help them out of a poor situation. And it was really sad to see. Channels that really, there's nothing explicit on them, like Connor Franta. He is a gay YouTuber. There's nothing explicit on his channel. Everything he does is very PG-13, there's nothing bad on there. And his channel was basically removed. And it's very upsetting to see because there were no other communities that were hit as hard as the LGBT community by restricted mode. And I don't know why it took this long to even come to light, but, I'm glad it did. And YouTube definitely needs to fix it because this is a big problem that could be affecting a lot of youth. And, besides that, there were a lot of gaming channels and stuff that were mad, but the LGBT issues were what was most important to me, and it was really upsetting. And, like I said, they haven't done anything yet, but I'm hoping for something to be resolved soon. Yeah, so there's my thoughts on that. Another thing is that YouTube, lost, billions of dollars this week. Companies like AT&T and Verizon have started pulling out of their ad services because they claim that YouTube has been putting ads on extremist, white supremacist videos and stuff. They claim that their ads are being run on channels like that. I don't have as much to say on this. I just kind of thought it was interesting, and they said that they're pulling out until YouTube can confirm that this won't happen again. And they're gonna lose billions of dollars. So it'll be interesting to see how that. It's been a bad week for YouTube, man. They are under all sorts of fire. But yeah. So we'll see how they handle that. But anyways, this podcast, I know it was a short one, but we talked in conclusion. Zara Larsson, she released an album. I enjoyed it. I would rate it a 7 out of 10. There were some bops in there, but like I said, it was all previously released stuff. But I'm still jamming to it. It hasn't gotten old for me yet, and I really like it. Iggy Azalea and Nicki Minaj released their singles, Mo Bounce and Light Up My Body. I think they'll do pretty well for themselves in the mainstream world, and I'm jamming to them. Zootopia might have stolen its entire concept from a man named Garrett Goldman. We'll have to see. And then YouTube fucked up. That was the podcast for this week, guys. Thank you for listening. Like I said, I was doing this, I would have had Andy here, but like I said, I'm getting my wisdom teeth out at 8 o'clock tomorrow, and I'm going to see him when he gets off of work, which is kind of late. So I would have to record it and then somehow edit it and upload it from his house in order to get done before my wisdom teeth, because Lord knows if I don't get this uploaded before my wisdom teeth, it's not going up. And I also just wanted to see him after not seeing him for a week. I'm traveling, and I don't want to worry about this. I just want to spend time with him. So that's why he's not here. So that's why this was a little bit of a shorter episode. I am scared for I don't want to do my wisdom teeth, guys. Funny enough, you guys know I work at Target. I've been asking for cart attendant shifts forever now, which is, where you push in all the carts from outside. I asked for them in winter, every single week, and they never ever gave one to me. Now that the weather's back up to 90 degrees, they decide to give me one the day I come back to work after my wisdom teeth. Great. So I get it done on Friday, and I have to push in carts from the hot outside, be standing and working on Monday. So hopefully I am recovered by then. I'm also working 32 weeks in this week. 32 hours this week, which is more than I've worked in weeks. I don't know why they decided to, Colby's been asking for hours and car attendant shifts. Let's give it to him all now. I don't know why they decided to do that. But I'm happy because I'll be making money. Also, I didn't work 9 days in a row, so I definitely need the money. But wish me luck. I'm gonna have, hopefully my mom record me to see if I say anything funny with my wisdom teeth. Hashtag Colby after dentist. Hopefully I say something funny. I don't know. My sister, I was like ready to record her when she got hers done, but all she did was like cry. So I don't know if I'll just cry. I'm gonna go eat some food though, because in exactly 11 hours I am not allowed to eat any more food. So I'm gonna go gorge myself. I'm so hungry. But once again, thank you all so much for listening to the Headfirst podcast. I will be back 2 weeks from now, hopefully with Andy, considering our schedules and hoping everything aligns. Sorry this one was short. Like I said, I just got home from 2 straight days traveling, and I still have a lot to get done. I also need to get stuff for my online class done, because, like I said, wisdom teeth, and I'm going to be out for a few days, and then I'm working, like, every single day next week, and I don't know when I'm going to get this stuff done. Under pressure. So, I wanted to get a podcast out. I actually wasn't going to get this, I wasn't even going to release this one. I was just going to skip this week, but I was like, no, so much news, and I don't want to do that. I don't think I've ever skipped one except for when we took a break in December. I'll they come out a few days late every once in a while, but I think for the most part, I don't think I've skipped one. But anyways, I'm going to go. I love you all so much. Once again, I can't thank you enough for tuning into the Headfirst podcast. Your support means the world. Once again, I'm sorry that it was a short one, but I'm gonna go. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave down below make sure to leave a rating on iTunes if you're listening. I haven't gotten one yet, so getting one would be nice. Just one rating. 5 stars if you're feeling generous. Leave some comments. You can always email headfirstpod@gmail.com. Is it Headfirst Podcast or headfirstpod@gmail.com if you want to chat, or submit any ideas you want us to talk about, or comment on the video if you're watching on YouTube. Just do all that stuff. Interact with me. It makes me happy. But I'm gonna go. Thank you all again for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next podcast. Bye, guys.